Hello there! Every time you drive past a gas station, you see a price. $3, $4, maybe even more. And most people think that's the cost of oil. But that's not true. That number is only the final price you pay. Long before that fuel reached your car, companies had already spent billions of dollars searching for oil, extracting it, transporting it, refining it, protecting it. So, what is the real cost of oil? Finding oil isn't as simple as drilling a hole in the ground. Before a single drop is produced, scientists spend years studying underground rock formations. Companies use seismic surveys to create images of what lies beneath the Earth's surface. Then comes the biggest gamble: drilling. An offshore exploration well can cost tens or even hundreds of millions of dollars, and sometimes, after months of work, they find nothing. Imagine spending enough money to build several skyscrapers, only to discover an empty hole. That risk is already built into the price of oil. Finding oil is only the beginning. Crude oil cannot power your car. First, it must be pumped from deep underground, then transported through pipelines, loaded onto giant tankers, or shipped by rail and trucks. Eventually, it reaches a refinery. This is where crude oil is transformed into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, lubricants, and even the plastics inside your phone. One barrel of oil doesn't become one product. It becomes dozens of products that power modern life. By the time it reaches a gas station, that barrel has traveled thousands of kilometers. Now let's do some math. Imagine oil prices rise by just $10. That doesn't sound like much, but the United States consumes around 20 million barrels of petroleum every day. Now multiply 20 million times $10. That's $200 million every single day. In 1 month, that's roughly $6 billion. In 1 year, more than $73 billion. All because one barrel became $10 more expensive. And that extra cost doesn't disappear. Businesses pass it to consumers. Trucks become more expensive to operate. Flights become more expensive. Food becomes more expensive because transporting it costs more. Even online shopping becomes more expensive. Oil doesn't just affect fuel. It quietly affects almost everything. But money isn't the only cost. Oil spills have polluted coastlines. Cleaning them up can take years. Governments spend billions protecting important shipping routes where oil flows. Companies invest enormous amounts in safety systems because one accident can destroy ecosystems and livelihoods. And whenever oil supply is disrupted, entire economies can feel the impact. The price of oil isn't only measured in dollars. Sometimes, it's measured in damaged environments, higher living costs, and years of economic uncertainty. Let's go back to that barrel. One barrel contains exactly 42 gallons, or about 159 liters. Suppose that barrel costs $70. That means the crude oil itself costs about $1.67 per gallon, or about 44 cents per liter. So why doesn't gasoline cost 44 cents? Because crude oil is only the beginning. Extraction, transportation, refining, storage, distribution, taxes, retail costs. Every step adds to the final price. Now think about this. When oil rises by just $10 per barrel, the United States alone could face around $73 billion in additional annual costs if consumption remained around 20 million barrels per day. That's the real cost of oil, not just what you pay at the pump, but the hidden costs that ripple through the entire economy. The next time you see the price of gasoline, remember, you're not just buying fuel. You're paying for one of the most expensive supply chains ever built.